Imagine this for a moment. You're sitting in your living room surrounded by furniture that hasn't been touched in years, walls covered in awards and photographs from decades past, and plastic covers on every couch cushion. Your phone sits silently on the table, rarely ringing. It's quiet, too quiet. Now imagine this scene playing out day after day, year after year, until one day someone finds you weeks or even months later. This isn't just a hypothetical scenario. It's a reality for far too many seniors who unknowingly isolate themselves through habits and choices they've carried for years. Loneliness among seniors isn't just about being alone. It's about feeling disconnected, invisible, and forgotten. And here's the harsh truth. Much of this isolation doesn't happen by accident. There are specific patterns, behaviors, and items in our homes that push people away, creating emotional barriers between us and those we love most. These aren't random acts of fate. They're decisions we make daily, often without realizing their long-term impact. In this video, I'm going to share 7 toxic items that could be silently poisoning your relationships and leading you down a path toward isolation. These aren't just objects, they're symbols of deeper psychological barriers that prevent meaningful connections. But here's the good news. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward breaking free from them. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why these items are so damaging, but also how to replace them with healthier habits that invite connection, warmth, and joy back into your life. If you're over 60, or if you know someone who is, this might be one of the most important videos you ever watch. Because what I'm about to share isn't just advice, it's a lifeline. A way to reclaim your relationships, rediscover your purpose, and ensure that your golden years are filled with laughter, love, and connection rather than regret and solitude. Stick around until the very end because I'll show you exactly how to start making changes today. Let's dive in. Body, let's begin with the shrine of past glory. Picture this. Every wall in your home is adorned with plaques, trophies, and framed newspaper clippings from achievements that happened decades ago. While these items may hold immense personal value, they can unintentionally send a message to visitors: you're stuck in the past. For Diane, a retired teacher from Ohio, her living room looked like a museum frozen in time. Her daughter Jessica stopped bringing her grandchildren over because every visit turned into a history lesson about back in my day. Here's the problem. When your home becomes a shrine to past accomplishments, it sends a subconscious signal to younger generations that there's no room for new memories. Family members want to connect with you as you are now, not as you were 30 years ago. Dr. Sarah Martinez, a geriatric psychologist, explains it perfectly. When seniors prioritize displaying relics of their past, they're communicating that they're no longer interested in growth or new experiences. The result? Visitors feel like outsiders peering into a museum rather than participants in a living relationship. The solution isn't to throw away your cherished memories, but to curate them thoughtfully. Choose 3 meaningful items per room to display prominently and store the rest in albums or digital formats. This creates space, both physical and emotional, for new conversations, activities, and connections. Diane did exactly this, packing away 80% of her memorabilia and replacing it with cozy seating areas focused on current interests. Within weeks, her grandchildren were eager to visit again. Ask yourself, does your home welcome people into your present life, or does it anchor them to your past? Now let's talk about the fortress of outdated furniture. Imagine walking into a home where every piece of furniture feels heavy, stiff, and uncomfortable. That was Raymond's reality, a 71-year-old widower whose sons avoided visiting him at home. His massive sectional sofa from 1987 was so worn out and uninviting that nobody wanted to sit on it for more than a few minutes. Worse still, his dining chairs were so formal and rigid that family meals became awkward and short-lived. Outdated furniture isn't just an aesthetic issue, it's a psychological barrier. When your home prioritizes preserving old possessions over comfort, you're sending a clear message: my things matter more than my relationships. Geriatric social worker Mike Chen highlights this point. Seniors who maintain extremely outdated or uncomfortable furniture often unconsciously push people away. They create environments that discourage connection and relaxation. The transformation doesn't have to break the bank. Raymond replaced his ancient sectional with the comfortable modern sofa and 2 recliners for under $1,200. He added a lightweight coffee table that could easily be moved for game nights. Within a month, his sons were asking to host family gatherings at his house. Take a look around your own home. Are your spaces inviting and functional, or do they repel visitors with stiffness and discomfort? Your furniture should encourage connection, not hinder it. Next, let's explore the Museum of Broken Dreams. Have you ever walked into a room filled with half-finished projects, quilts that will never be stitched, scrapbooks gathering dust, or craft supplies piled high on shelves? Gloria, a 75-year-old from Michigan, had turned her dining room table into a chaotic workspace cluttered with unfinished hobbies. Her sewing room resembled a maze of fabric bolts and pattern pieces. When her daughter Amy tried to host family dinners, there simply wasn't enough space to eat together. These unfinished projects aren't just taking up physical space, they're occupying emotional real estate too. Each item serves as a reminder of declining abilities and abandoned dreams. Worse yet, when family visits, these objects become conversation killers. Instead of discussing current interests or future plans, interactions fizzle out in guilt and regret. Dr. Lisa Park, a specialist in senior transitions, notes, unfinished projects become emotional anchors that keep seniors stuck in cycles of regret. Family members pick up on this energy and unconsciously avoid spending time in these spaces. To break free, ask yourself honestly, have I used these supplies in the past year? Am I physically capable of completing these projects, or am I holding on to hope out of habit? Gloria donated 90% of her craft supplies to a local senior center, keeping only a small box for realistic projects she could actually finish. The result? Her dining room transformed into a welcoming gathering place once again. What unfinished projects are weighing you down? Share in the comments below. We'll help each other face this challenge head on. Let's move on to the prison of plastic protection. Do you have plastic covers on your furniture, remote controls wrapped in protective bags, or lampshades encased in film? Arthur, a 69-year-old retired mechanic from Florida, had plastic everywhere in his home. His granddaughter Sophia learned quickly not to touch anything during visits. She couldn't put her feet up, eat snacks in the living room, or relax comfortably. The message was loud and clear: preserving objects was more important than fostering relationships. Child psychologist Dr. Jennifer Walsh studied this phenomenon and found that children and grandchildren associate such overprotected environments with stress and restriction rather than love and acceptance. The underlying message is toxic. My possessions are more valuable than your comfort. Over time, family members stopped visiting altogether, choosing restaurants or other neutral spaces instead. Arthur's turning point came when Sophia, then 8 years old, asked him, "Grandpa, why do you love your couch more than me?" That question shattered his perspective. He removed all the plastic covers that weekend, transforming his living room into a warm, welcoming space. Family visits became longer and more frequent almost immediately. Be brutally honest with yourself. Is there anything in your home that people can't touch or use comfortably? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, your home should be a sanctuary for connection, not a fortress for preservation. Now let's discuss the hoarder's gallery of guilt. Picture a spare bedroom so crammed with boxes, unused gadgets, and clothes from decades ago that it's impossible to use for its intended purpose. Bernice, a 72-year-old from Oregon, called hers the room of no return. When her son Michael visited with his kids, they had nowhere to sleep except air mattresses in the living room. But the real damage wasn't physical inconvenience, it was emotional burden. Every time Bernice looked at that cluttered room, she felt overwhelmed and guilty. Conversations about it always ended in tension, training her family to avoid the topic entirely and eventually to avoid visiting altogether. Hoarding behavior, even in mild forms, sends a powerful message to loved ones. I value these random objects more than creating a welcoming space for you. It also reveals deeper emotional issues tied to control, fear, and identity. Dr. Amanda Foster, who works with seniors on downsizing, explains, when seniors can't let go of unused items, they're often trying to maintain control in a life where they feel increasingly powerless. Ironically, this creates the opposite effect. The clutter controls them and drives away the relationships they need most. Bernice's breakthrough came when Michael gently explained that his kids associated her house with stress and couldn't relax there. She realized she was sacrificing precious time with her grandchildren to preserve items she hadn't touched in years. How many rooms in your home can't be used for their intended purpose due to stored items? Count them and comment below. By adopting the 1-year rule, anything unused for a year must go, Bernice transformed her spare bedroom into a cozy guest space. Suddenly, family visits became weekend stays instead of brief afternoon drop-ins. Let's examine the shrine of departed souls. Walter, a 76-year-old widower from New York, had turned his home into a memorial for his late wife, Margaret. Her clothes still filled the closet, her medications remained on the nightstand, and every surface displayed her photographs. When his daughter Karen brought her new boyfriend to meet him, the young man later told Karen he felt like he was intruding on a tomb, not visiting a potential grandfather-in-law. Grief is natural, but excessive memorialization can create an uncomfortable atmosphere for the living. Visitors feel like they're competing with ghosts for your attention and affection. Grief counselor Dr. Maria Santos explains, when seniors create shrine-like environments for deceased loved ones, they often unconsciously signal that their emotional investment remains with the dead rather than the living. This excludes family members from the senior's emotional world, causing them to drift away. Walter's turning point came when Karen bravely told him, "Dad, I feel like Mom is more present in your life than I am, and she's been gone for 3 years." He realized his grief had become a barrier to connecting with his living daughter and her growing family. Have family members ever seemed uncomfortable or made comments about memorial displays in your home? Share honestly in the comments below. Walter kept one meaningful memorial area in his bedroom, but removed overwhelming displays from common spaces. He packed away Margaret's clothes and medications, keeping only a few special items. The change was dramatic. His home became a place where living people could feel welcome and important again. Finally, let's address the arsenal of ancient grudges. Pauline, a 74-year-old from California, had turned her coffee table into a display of evidence from family disputes. Old letters, legal documents, and photographs proving various slights and betrayals. Every visit became a relitigation of decades-old conflicts. Her son David eventually stopped bringing his children because he didn't want them exposed to constant negativity and blame. Grudges don't always manifest physically. They can live in the stories we repeatedly tell about who hurt us, the scorekeeping that turns every interaction into a transaction based on past grievances. Family therapist Dr. Robert Kim observes, seniors who maintain arsenals of grievances create toxic environments where family members feel they can never do enough to compensate for past mistakes, mistakes that may have happened decades ago or may not even be accurately remembered. Every minute spent reliving old hurts steals from building new joy. Every conversation redirected toward past grievances kills opportunities for connection before they can bloom. Pauline's breakthrough came when David said, "Mom, I can't change the past, but I'm trying to build a future with you. Every time I visit, you remind me why I'm not good enough. My kids are learning that family means criticism and disappointment. Is that really what you want your legacy to be? What old grievances are you still carrying that might be affecting your current relationships? Be brave and comment below." Pauline physically removed all visible reminders of past conflicts and consciously chose to focus on present opportunities instead of past disappointments. She discovered that forgiveness isn't about excusing others. It's about freeing yourself to experience joy again. Engaging call to action. By now, you've learned about 7 toxic items that could be silently isolating you from the people you care about most. But here's the million-dollar question. What will you do with this information? Will you close this video, nod along, and continue down the same path? Or will you take action today to transform your home and your relationships into something vibrant, joyful, and fulfilling? I want to challenge you to reflect on your own life right now. Are you holding on to items or habits that are pushing people away? Perhaps it's the shrine of past glory dominating your living room, the fortress of outdated furniture repelling visitors, or the arsenal of ancient grudges poisoning your interactions. Whatever it is, you have the power to change it. Start small, remove one plastic cover, donate a box of unused items, replace a stiff chair with something comfortable. Each tiny step adds up, creating a ripple effect that transforms not only your environment, but also your emotional well-being. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below sharing which of these 7 items hit closest to home for you. Are you ready to tackle the shrine of past glory, declutter the hoarder's gallery of guilt, or finally forgive that lingering grudge? Whatever your answer, your honesty inspires others to open up too. Together, we can support each other in making these life-changing transformations. If you found this video eye-opening, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content designed to help you thrive in your golden years. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue creating videos that inform, inspire, and empower you to live your best life. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, share this video with them. You might just save them from a future filled with loneliness and regret. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, remember this: loneliness isn't inevitable in your senior years. It's often the direct result of choices you're making right now. Prioritize people over possessions, connection over control, and love over being right. Your next chapter doesn't have to be written in isolation. Take the first step today and watch as your world begins to fill with laughter, warmth, and meaningful relationships once again. See you soon.